Morning, everyone, and welcome to Weekly Profit Talk. It's that day again. Good morning, everyone. And today's topic is 1 week and counting, a tax return checklist for physicians who still haven't filed. And at the time I was writing this, there was a week left. Actually, as of right now, being Wednesday, the 9th of April, you only have 6 days. So tax deadline is on April 15th on any year that it falls on a weekday. And this year, bad luck, it is a Tuesday. So the 15th's it. And if you're watching this and you haven't filed your taxes yet, it's getting exciting. So there's a couple of things you can do. We thought we'd run through a little checklist of things that you can do if you're determined to get filed at the last minute. And let me go ahead and I'm going to pull up some visual aids, if you will. Let's just go ahead and do that right now. Here we go. Okay. So documentation triage. And here's the thing. Now, it's quite possible that you are, in fact, interested in getting this filed just as soon as possible. And let me add to this, too. If you're not interested in doing an extension or you have another reason where you really do need to get this filed in 6 days and you're having that V8 moment and popping yourself in the forehead, then what you want to do is you basically use the funnel method. Go for the big stuff first. You're going to have office rent, mortgage payments in your private practice, of course, staff payroll summaries, equipment purchases. If you are not running a good, clean book, that's another issue. But these things are definitely very important, and you need to focus on the big stuff that is going to reduce your taxable income and give you the smallest possible tax picture. And let me add to that, again, if you're doing this in a last minute way, you can actually amend tax returns up to 3 years from the tax filing deadline. So I'll explain that. We're doing tax year 2024 taxes in this tax season. The deadline for that is 4/15 of 25. You have until April 15th of 2028 to amend a return. So just FYI. So again, kind of triage the most important things first and make sure that you're getting the big stuff. So that's a good tip, hopefully, for you. Now let's talk extensions. This is not a magic procrastination tool, just the way I wrote it. And that's something that, I first heard about extensions many, many years ago. And I thought, well, this is cool. They give you another 6 months, huh? Well, you do not get any additional time to pay the tax. It's just an extension to basically accumulate paperwork and do the filing portion. So you still need to do that documentation triage in slide 1 and get your biggest expenses and basically figure out what your net income is going to be to as close as possible. Calculate a tax amount on that and send that amount of money in with the extension. And now if you don't do that, here's a consequence. You're going to have underpayment penalties, and you're also going to have a failure to pay penalty for the part that you didn't pay. You won't have failure to file because, of course, you're doing the extension. So you're dealing with interest and penalties, however, on that portion of the tax that you didn't pay. So you need to get a good working estimate of the tax obligation, like it says here, and get that sent in on a form 4868. And I think I actually made a little screenshot of what one of those looks like later. Don't forget about your state. If you're not one of the 9 fortunate states that doesn't have an income tax on income, then don't forget about that either. Even if they don't require, and a lot of states don't require paperwork for an extension, but if you owe the tax, you'll still be penalized for not paying it if you didn't do it timely. So here is how you do this. Let me go ahead and write. If you do, in fact, intend to go ahead and do an extension, then this is what you need to do. This is actually, I remember. Okay, good. So today is Wednesday. We do Profit Talk every week on Wednesday, by the way, at 8:30 Mountain Time. So get your priority documentation together and spend as much time as you're able to in between patients doing this, but get this done. tomorrow, get with a tax professional and make your last minute retirement or HSA contributions. I think, hang on a second here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. That's why I was looking at that little cross-eyed. My second slide after documentation triage is last minute tax reduction. Now, this is important because you're able to reduce your taxable income by certain contributions, including to SEP IRAs and other IRA contributions. You may already know this, you may not, but you're actually able to contribute to tax year 2024 to these specific contributions with an April 15th, 2025 deadline. So you've got a few days left and get it done because those contributions will also lower your tax. Okay, so now we were talking about the extension option. I'm so sorry about that. Let's get to, this is my final slide, and now it all makes sense to me here. Today, gather your documentation, and thanks for allowing me to wool gather with you here. So tomorrow, meet with your tax professional, and that happens to be what I do for a living, by the way. So if you're interested, we do still have some room to help some people last minute, particularly with extensions. I have a specific program for this where we'll basically do your calculation for you and get that extension off. As long as you are comfortable with committing to allowing us to do the rest of your return for you sometime later in the year, we can give you that peace of mind and knowing that you'll have the time to actually put everything together, and we'll find all your tax deductions, and then you won't have to worry about this stuff or stay up at night thinking about it. So meet with a tax professional, be it me or someone else. Friday, review your return or prepare your extension for payment. And I've kind of built you in a little bit of buffer time, but also hopefully you have families and a life and that sort of thing. So this gives you time for contingencies, little hair on fire emergency type things. Monday, get the extensions filed. Now, I know you have until Tuesday, but one thing is that it's been my experience, if you wait to the last possible minute, it gets unnecessarily exciting. It raises your cortisol levels, and it's just not good for you physiologically. Basically, get the actual work done on Monday. Now, to make an IRS payment, you go to that nice blue hyperlink that I put you there. And all you have to do, actually, let me see if I can do this. No, I can't. Sorry. I thought I might be able to highlight. But if you can see my little arrow here, IRS Direct Pay, if you just type that into your search engine, it should bring up an irs.gov website and go to Pay Individual. And then you should hit a blue Make a Payment button, and it will bring you to this URL. Once you click it, you're going to have these three drop downs, and these are the choices you make. Extension, apply to 4868. That's the form number for an extension, obviously. And tax period would be last year. So those are the choices that you make. Make that payment, make as much of a payment as possible based on information. You don't want to grossly overpay this either. To do that is to basically provide your United States Treasury with a interest-free loan. And honestly, the way things are going, they really don't deserve the money all that much. So, but you do need to pay the actual and legitimate amount of tax necessary because it's the cost of doing business in America. So with that, I hope that is very helpful for you. Lastly, let me touch on this again. I'm coming to you from 3 different media here. We're on YouTube as well as LinkedIn and Facebook, and all 3 of those have some kind of a comments option. So you can write help or more information or just whatever in that. Me and my team will see that. We'll get it back to you, and we can help you do a what I'd like to refer to as a quick and dirty extension payment analysis for you, get that off for you, and then we will get a very nice tax return done for you in the next month or 2, and all will be well. And then hopefully, if you make good estimated tax payments throughout this year, then next tax season, hopefully it will be completely stress-free. You should owe less than $1,000 every year. And you're saying, what? How? Simple. Make your estimated tax payments. Also, there's one due April 15th, by the way. So if you're having a really good first quarter, you're also going to want to pay something in for that. So if I'm talking to people that are having a little difficulty with cash flow, I understand, but do the best that you can. Main thing is that the extension does give you some breathing room as far as finding every last possible dime of legitimate write-off, because it's your money. Don't give more of it to them than absolutely necessary. So with that happy thought, thank you so much for sharing this brief amount of time with us this morning. We do this every single Wednesday at 8:30 Mountain Time. That is 7:30 if you're in California, and 10:30 if you're in Florida or the East Coast. So we will see you next week. So long for now. And if you have a chance, do something randomly kind for a stranger today. So with that, so long, and have a great rest of your day.